Welcome to a day in the Word. Today's reading is Genesis chapter 31 through Genesis chapter 33. Genesis chapter 31. One day Jacob heard Laban's sons talking. They said, Jacob has taken everything that our father owned. He has become rich, and he has taken all this wealth from our father. Then Jacob noticed that Laban was not as friendly as he had been in the past. The Lord said to Jacob, go back to your own land where your ancestors live. I will be with you. So Jacob told Rachel and Leah to meet him in the field where he kept his flock of sheep and goats. He said to them, I have noticed that your father is not as friendly with me as he used to be, but the God of my father has been with me. You both know that I have worked as hard as I could for your father, but he cheated me. He has changed my pay 10 times, but during all this time, God protected me from all of Laban's tricks. At one time, Laban said, you can keep all the goats with spots. This will be your pay. After he said this, all the animals gave birth to spotted goats, so they were all mine. But then Laban said, I will keep the spotted goats. You can have all the striped goats. That will be your pay. After he said this, all the animals gave birth to striped goats. So God had taken the animals away from your father and has given them to me. I had a dream during the time when the animals were mating. I saw that the only male goats that were mating were the ones with stripes and spots. The angel of God spoke to me in that dream. The angel said, Jacob. I answered, yes. The angel said, look, only the striped and spotted goats are mating. I am causing this to happen. I have seen all the wrong things Laban has done to you. I am doing this so that you can have all the new baby goats. I am the God who came to you at Bethel, and there you made an altar, poured olive oil on it, and made a promise to me. Now I want you to be ready to go back to the country where you were born. Rachel and Leah answered Jacob, our father has nothing to give us when he dies. He treated us like strangers. He sold us to you, and then he spent all the money that should have been ours. God took all this wealth from our father, and now it belongs to us and our children. So you should do whatever God told you to do. So Jacob prepared for the trip. He put his children and his wives on camels. Then they began traveling back to the land of Canaan, where his father lived. All the flocks of animals that Jacob owned walked ahead of them. He carried everything with him that he had gotten while he lived in Padan Aram. While Laban was gone to cut the wool from his sheep, Rachel went into his house and stole the false gods that belonged to her father. Jacob tricked Laban the Aramean. He did not tell Laban he was leaving. Jacob took his family and everything he owned and left quickly. They crossed the Euphrates River and traveled toward the hill country of Gilead. 3 days later, Laban learned that Jacob had run away, so he gathered his men together and began to chase Jacob. After 7 days, Laban found Jacob near the hill country of Gilead. That night, God came to Laban in a dream and said, be careful. Be careful of every word you say to Jacob. The next morning, Laban caught up with Jacob. Jacob had set up his camp on the mountain. So Laban and all his men set up their camp in the hill country of Gilead. Laban said to Jacob, why did you trick me? Why did you take my daughters like they were women you captured during war? Why did you run away without telling me? If you had told me, I would have given you a party. There would have been singing and dancing with music. You didn't even let me kiss my grandchildren and my daughters goodbye. You were very foolish to do this. I have the power to really hurt you. But last night, the God of your father came to me in a dream. He warned me not to hurt you in any way. I know that you want to go back to your home. That is why you left. But why did you steal the gods from my house? Jacob answered, I left without telling you because I was afraid. I thought you would take your daughters away from me, but I did not steal your gods. If you find anyone here with me who has taken your gods, they will be killed. Your men will be my witnesses. You can look for anything that belongs to you. Take anything that is yours. Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen Laban's gods. So Laban went and looked through Jacob's camp. He looked in Jacob's tent and then in Leah's tent. Then he looked in the tent where the two slave women stayed, but he did not find the gods from his house. Then he went into Rachel's tent. Rachel had hidden the gods inside her camel's saddle, and she was sitting on them. Laban looked through the whole tent, but he did not find the gods. And Rachel said to her father, Father, don't be angry with me. I am not able to stand up before you. I am having my monthly time of bleeding. So Laban looked through the camp, but he did not find the gods from his house. Then Jacob became very angry and said, What wrong have I done? What law have I broken? What right do you have to chase me and stop me? You looked through everything I own and found nothing that belongs to you. If you found something, show it to me. Put it here where our men can see it. Let our men decide which one of us is right. I have worked 20 years for you. During all that time, none of the baby sheep and goats died during birth, and I have not eaten any of the rams from your flocks. Any time a sheep was killed by wild animals, I always paid for the loss myself. I did not take the dead animal to you and say that it was not my fault, but I was robbed day and night. In the daytime, the sun took away my strength, and at night, sleep was taken away from my eyes by the cold. I worked 20 years like a slave for you. For the first 14 years, I worked to win your two daughters. The last 6 years, I worked to earn your animals. And during that time, you changed my pay 10 times. But the God of my ancestors, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac was within me. If God had not been with me, you would have sent me away with nothing. But he saw the trouble that I had and the work I did. And last night God proved that I am right. Laban said to Jacob, These women are my daughters. These children belong to me, and these animals are mine. Everything you see here belongs to me, but I can do nothing to keep my daughters and their children. So I am ready to make an agreement with you. We will set up a pile of stones to show that we have an agreement. So Jacob found a large rock and put it there to show that he had made an agreement. He told his men to find some more rocks and to put a pile of rocks, to make a pile of rocks. Then they ate beside the pile of rocks. Laban named that place Yagar Sahadutha, but Jacob named the place Gilead. Laban said to Jacob, This pile of rocks will help us both remember our agreement. That is why Jacob called the place Gilead. Then Laban said, Let the Lord watch over us while we are separated from each other. So that place was named Mizpah. Then Laban said, If you hurt my daughters, remember that God will punish you. If you marry other women, remember that God is watching. Here are the rocks that I have put between us, and here is a special rock to show that we made an agreement. This pile of rocks and this one special rock both help us to remember our agreement. I will never pass these rocks to fight against you, and you must never go on my side of these rocks to fight against me. May the God of Abraham, the God of Nahor, and the God of their ancestors judge us guilty if we break these agreements. Jacob's father, Isaac, called God fear. So Jacob used that name to make the promise. Then Jacob killed an animal and offered it as a sacrifice on the mountain. And he invited his men to come and share a meal. After they finished eating, they spent the night on the mountain. Early the next morning, Laban kissed his grandchildren and his daughters goodbye. He blessed them and went back home. Genesis chapter 32. Jacob also left that place while he was traveling. He saw God's angel. When he saw them, he said, "This is God's camp." So Jacob named that place Mahanaim. Jacob's brother Esau was living in the area called Seir in the hill country of Edom. Jacob sent messengers to Esau. He told them, "Tell this to my master Esau. Your servant Jacob says, I have lived with Laban all these years. I have many cattle, donkeys, flocks, and servants. Sir, I am sending you this message to ask you to accept us." The messengers came back to Jacob and said, "We went to your brother Esau. He is coming to meet you. He has 400 men with him." Jacob was very frightened and worried. He divided the people who were with him and all the flocks, herds, and camels into two groups. Jacob thought, if Esau comes and destroys one group, the other group can run away and be saved. Then Jacob said, "God of my father Abraham, God of my father Isaac, Lord, you told me to come back to my country and to my family. You said that you would do good to me. You have been very kind to me. You did many good things for me. The first time I traveled across the Jordan River, I owned nothing, only my walking stick. But now I own enough things to have two full groups. I ask you to please save me from my brother Esau. I am afraid that he will come and kill us all, even the mothers with the children. Lord, you said to me, I will be good to you. I will increase your family and make your children as many as the sands of the sea. There will be too many to count." Jacob stayed in that place for the night. He prepared some things to give to Esau as a gift. He took 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 female sheep and 20 male sheep. He took 30 camels and their coats, 40 cows and 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys and 10 male donkeys. He gave each flock of animals to his servants. Then he said to them, "Separate each group of animals. Go ahead of me and keep some space between each herd." Jacob gave them their orders. To the servant with the first group of animals, he said, "When Esau, my brother, comes to you and asks you, 'Whose animals are these? Where are you going? Whose servant are you?' Then you should answer, 'These animals belong to your servant Jacob. He sent them as a gift to you, my master Esau, and he also is coming behind us.'" Jacob also ordered the second servant, the third servant, and all the other servants to do the same thing. He said, "You will say the same thing to Esau when you meet him. You will say, 'This is a gift to you, and your servant Jacob is behind us.'" Jacob thought, "If I send these men ahead with gifts, maybe Esau will forgive me and accept me." So Jacob sent the gifts to Esau, but he stayed that night in the camp. During the night, Jacob got up and began moving his two wives, his two maids, and his 11 sons across the Jabbok River at the crossing. After he sent his family across the river, he sent across everything he had. Jacob was left alone, and a man came and wrestled with him. The man fought with him until the sun came up. When the man saw that he could not defeat Jacob, he touched Jacob's leg and put it out of joint. Then the man said to Jacob, "Let me go. The sun is coming up." But Jacob said, "I will not let you go. You must bless me." And the man said to him, "What is your name?" And Jacob said, "My name is Jacob." Then the man said, "Your name will not be Jacob. Your name will be Israel. I give you this name because you have fought with God and with men, and you have won." Then Jacob asked him, "Please tell me your name." But the man said, "Why do you ask my name?" Then the man blessed Jacob at that place. So Jacob named that place Peniel. He said, "At this place I saw God face to face, but my life was spared." Then the sun came up as Jacob left Peniel. He was limping because of his leg. So even today, the people of Israel don't eat the muscle that is on the hip joint, because this is the muscle where Jacob was hurt. Genesis chapter 33. Jacob looked and saw Esau coming with 400 men. Jacob divided his family into four groups. Leah and her children were one group. Rachel and Joseph were in one group, and the two maids and their children were in two groups. Jacob put the maids with their children first. Then he put Leah and her children behind them, and he put Rachel and Joseph in the last place. Jacob himself went out before them. While he was walking toward his brother Esau, he bowed down to the ground 7 times. When Esau saw Jacob, he ran to meet him. He put his arms around Jacob, hugged his neck, and kissed him. Then they both cried. Esau looked up and saw the women and children. He said, "Who are all these people with you?" Jacob answered, "These are the children that God gave me. God has been good to me." Then the two maids and the children with them went to Esau. They bowed down before him. Then Leah and the children with her went to Esau and bowed down. And then Rachel and Joseph went to him and bowed down. Esau said, "Who were all these people I saw while I was coming here? And what were all those animals for?" Jacob answered, "These are my gifts to you, so that you might accept me." But Esau said, "You don't have to give me gifts, brother. I have enough for myself." Jacob said, "No, I beg you. If you really accept me, please accept the gifts I give you. I am very happy to see your face again. It is like seeing the face of God. I am very happy to see that you accept me. So I beg you to also accept the gifts I give you. God has been very good to me. I have been I have more than I need." Because Jacob begged Esau to take the gifts, he accepted them. Then Esau said, "Now you can continue your journey. I will go with you." But Jacob said to him, "You know that my children are weak, and I must be careful with my flocks and their young animals. If I force them to walk too far in one day, all the animals will die. So you go on ahead. I will follow you slowly. I will go slowly enough for the cattle and other animals to be safe, so that my children will not get too tired. I will meet you in Seir." So Esau said, "Then I will leave some of my men to help you." But Jacob said, "That is very kind of you, but there is no need to do that." So that day Esau started on his trip back to Seir, but Jacob went on to Succoth. There he built a house for himself and small barns for his cattle. That is why the place was named Succoth. Jacob safely ended his trip from Padan Aram when he came to the town of Shechem in Canaan. He made his camp in a field near the city. He bought the field where he camped from the family of Hamor, father of Shechem. He paid 100 pieces of silver for it. He built an altar there to honor God. He named the place El, the God of Israel. Thank you for joining A Day in the Word Bible in a Year series. Please subscribe, comment, like, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell. Until next time, shalom.